Well, howdy, folks. Boy, it sure feels good. I'm back out in the big wide open again, and I thought I'd make a YouTube video about tonight's adventure. I've been laid up for about 7 or 8 weeks because I blew out a disc in my lower back, little herniated disc thingy, and they squirted some steroids in my back. So I'm actually doing pretty good now, and if I stand and walk, well, actually if I walk around is good. So I'm out here tonight, and we're going to try and shoot the Milky Way, which is that way, and Polaris is that way. But that's the plan for the night, and pretty soon I am going to have to take a landscape. So this is going to be the landscape here, pointing off that way. Got those mountains way off in the distance. So pretty soon, maybe towards the blue hour, maybe a little beyond, I'm going to shoot that. And so what we got going here, this is my setup. I've got 2 tripods. The one for this camera, I have a bag of rocks holding it down, so it's like super steady. I'm filming on the EM1 Mark II and the 12mm f2, so that's taking care of the video portion of the world. And then on my big tripod here, I got another bag of rocks, and this is the setup for shooting the stars. And we'll start off at the top, and what I have is the LRT Pro trigger unit, and this thing is amazing because triggering an Olympus camera and triggering the move shoot move in panorama mode, it wouldn't sync up by just using one of those handheld trigger units. So what this does is it triggers 2 things at once. But what I'm going to do with it tonight is this is going to trigger the camera for all my exposures. And this is the EM1 Mark III, which has that amazing sky or the star focusing thing. I mean, it just works perfect. And I got the 12-40 f2.8 on there because that's almost the sharpest lens I own. I'm going to be shooting it at f2.8, 17mm. So that's going to be what that is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 30 lights, which is actual stars. There's 30 shots of the stars, and it's going to be f2.8. ISO 2000 because the read noise on this camera is about best at ISO 2000. And then we'll figure out the time, you know, do some practice shots on how long the exposure should be. And then going down, this is the move shoot move, and I use this to track the sky, and I have attached to it a laser pointer, and Polaris is that way, Milky Way that way. So actually this whole thing has to turn around. Some of you might notice that. But and then I have a polar scope alignment finder here, and that's for fine tuning via an app on the cell phone. So that's how that's all going to work. And then what I did also at home, when I had the unit with the polar scope aligned on Polaris, I adjusted the laser so it was right on Polaris. So when I point the laser, it's almost dead on now, which works out pretty good. A few nights ago, I was in Alpine, and I was shooting the Milky Way, and I was at about 3,000 feet, something like that. Started getting kind of cool towards the evening, and then around 11 o'clock, the humidity hit at about 80%, I think. And so everything started getting wet. So that was the end of that night. Actually, though, I got a pretty good shot of the Milky Way. I mean, it was kind of like my first. It's not bad. It's on my Flickr if you want to go check it out. You know, you can go on the upper part of my YouTube homepage, and there's a way to get to my Flickr from there. But I brought in my little handy dandy dude thing, and it says 82 degrees right now, 22% humidity. And if you look around here, everything is about as dry as a bone. So if there's any moisture out here, including in me, it's all going to get sucked out. So anyway, that's a good thing there. So anyway, pretty soon we're going to have to start thinking about doing some actual setting up stuff. But first off, the backup camera is my EM1X, and I have, because the EM1X has amazing cooling capabilities, because I got this heat pipe built into this thing, but it doesn't have Starry Sky autofocus. Come on, Olympus, get with the program, give it to me. But I also have the 7-14 f2.8, so I'm going to shoot a 17 millimeter landscape. Then I'm going to do probably about a 7 millimeter landscape, and then I'm also going to shoot 30 lights and 30 darks with this dude on that EM1 Mark III. And so I'll have 2 sets to play with. And then kind of a fun thing, the other day for 90 bucks, I got, let's get the right one here, the Celestron Skymaster 25x70. These dudes are some serious magnification, I'll tell you what. They're going to go on this tripod that the camera's now recording video, and I got a mount on here and everything, and I'm going to look at some stars and stuff like that, which is fun to play with. These dudes at home, even though I didn't have my rocks on the tripod, I think I was able to see the moons of Jupiter, or maybe Saturn. I'm not sure which one that was. I didn't actually look it up on my phone. But anyway, you know, junior astronomer here, right? So anyway, we're going to try these out. And then also, I have from the 1980s, when I was in the Navy, my Green Cat 20x70s. These are not bad. They're pretty good. The story is, with these dudes, when I was in Singapore on a cruise, we were in this store when back then you could get stuff so cheap in other countries. And I was arguing with the owner of the store so much that he actually kicked me out of the store. I did end up getting these things for a song. So, and I love big optics, man. I don't know what it is. I must be a crow, because I love big pieces of glass. Anyway, that is the plan. And I got myself a little low chair to sit in. I also got a stool that's a little bit higher to sit on. And then tonight's entertainment is I've got a USB stick that is just full of audio from 1950s sci-fi movies. And so tonight we are going to be listening to monsters and creatures and stuff like that from the 1950s. So out here all by myself, and I picked this spot because I wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be around people because I do have a lot of money here, and I'm an old guy. I do have ways of protecting myself, but you never know these days. So hopefully I'm pretty hidden here, and there's a fire station down the hill a little bit, you know, but I went there the other day. There ain't not nobody there. So hopefully we don't have a fire, eh? So anyway, this is where we're at, and I think I did show you we're coming up on, maybe it's time to shoot some landscape stuff. We are about an hour away from any kind of darkness, so I got to find something to do. Anyway, at the end of this, I will post the pictures that I got, and also I'm just going to walk around here and just take some shots and walk around, because it's not good for me to stand in one spot for any length of time. But I think it's time to go for a walk or something. So I'll catch you in a while. Oh yeah, one last note. We have Hurricane Hillary, which is coming right up from Mexico, and that should be a whole lot of rain and all kinds of good stuff coming Saturday night, Sunday, Monday. So hopefully we'll get a lot of rain. But that is why I'm out here tonight, because this is the last clear night for me for at least a week. So, which is kind of good because after doing this, I'm probably going to be a little tuckered out, and so it'd be good to stay home and chill out. However, I may do a storm chase. I haven't done a storm chase in quite a while. Break out the old Mercury Marauder because she's like super heavy, and maybe we could do a storm chase. So I'll let you know if we make it to that point. Anyway, see you in a bit. Okay, pardon my voice, but that turned out really well, and got all my pictures and everything, got eaten up by some bugs, I think. And one of the cool things was I was looking west, and this line of 15 stars came moving across the sky, and then they just kind of looked like they moved up into the sky and disappeared. And I kind of looked at it dumbfounded. I'd never ever seen anything like that in my life. And talking to my family back home, looks like it was Starlink, which is interesting. I got to look that up and see if it's like 15 satellites pulled in a line or something. So that was pretty cool. And I saw 4 satellites and 3 shooting stars. So got that. Did the Milky Way, all my different shots and everything. And that is going to be tomorrow's processing day. And right now it's almost midnight, and it's still 71 degrees here. And so I'm going to head home. I kind of got the munchies, and think I'm going to cook something up and watch an old movie or something, because I'm still wide awake from way too much coffee and hot chocolate. And also we got the hurricane coming up Saturday, Sunday, Monday from down Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. I think it's Hillary is just off the coast right now, and it's coming up here. We've already got flood watches out, so may have a storm chase in my future. I don't know. We'll see how I feel from this here night, standing and sitting and whatnot. And want to thank you for checking out this here Astro night. And when I process the photos, I'll put them at the end of this video. So take care, and I'll see you on the next adventure.